Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call Digital Edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
In the most holy name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, we thank Allah forever and ever for coming to us, the black man and woman in America, in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom all praise is forever due, for raising in our midst his promised Messiah, his exalted Christ, the eternal leader of the nation of Islam, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we thank them both for the Jesus in our midst, their mercy, their grace, a divine comforter to us, a light-giving son, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I greet you in the words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Happy Holy Day of Atonement. Today is October 16th, 2020. This is the 25th anniversary of the Million Man March. Once again, in a multitude of ways, our study is aligning perfectly with the events and circumstances that are unfolding in real time. We are on a critical study of emotion, which we must learn to handle properly in order to advance on the path of growing to a level that will enable the nation to survive the test we previously failed. We must quickly learn to see divinity in a human being, which begins with seeing it in a specific man. When that man becomes an example of perfect obedience to the law of God, he becomes a master of that law and is given a superior law to function from. That superior law is unknown to the rest of us at our level of development. Therefore, we must be careful of imposing our thinking at the lower level onto the servant of God who is functioning at a higher level. Otherwise, when we are made aware of his reality, we can be corrupted in our own reality and lay the blame for our corruption on him. The indescribable, overwhelming event known as the Million Man March, which Allah willed into existence by putting it on the mind of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who in turn put it on the mind of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, was and is a mercy to us because it helped us actually witness the power of the originator working in and through a man. This gives our mind a tremendous boost needed to make the transition from the inferior, spooky slave mind into a mind that can accept the profound truth that God is a man. In his article, Reflections on the Million Man March, in this week's spectacular edition of the Final Call newspaper, the minister writes in part, quote, "That day frightened the enemies of our unity and the enemies of our rise, but it fulfilled the desire of black men and women to see a day like we had never seen before. That day in Washington, D.C., affected the world and was a sign from God that the one the world has been looking for is present. On that day, a holy day of atonement was established by Allah God that we might reconnect with him and draw from him the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and power that we need to change the realities of our lives. At the base of this course, Self-Improvement, is the idea of a perfect union with God. At the base of atonement is the idea of a perfect union with God. So tonight, as we end a holy day of fasting, prayer, and absence from the white man's reality, let us read, review, and discuss the 8 steps of atonement. Let us use as a reference point the minister's speech at the Million Man March, wherein he explains the 8 steps of atonement in great detail. It is all in your Final Call newspaper on page 22. May Allah bless you and your family and the family of believers with an evening of love and the light of understanding. Assalamu alaikum.